leader, though clad like a soldier, had a feminine face to stir awe. Blah, blah, blah.
I've killed Rivians before.
Nobody wants you here.
Greetings!
Skojetsala. In Irvet's place? In here? What is this place?
Greetings.
The peasant is not here.
Greetings.
The walls have ears. Where is this man? Oh, it's not here. Obviously, these people are not guarding anything in here.
For battle prepared in their race's just cause, their aim to avenge and support Saskia's laws. As fierce as the wyvern, as swift as the roe. Your
What is this place? Is this a shortcut of some sort? Well, that was a wasted time, and I probably missed some timeline now that I did this, trying to do the logical thing, actually interrogating the one who has done the accusations. But nope, no good.
They say someone cast a spell, and the Virgin fell as if dead. Could be. Sorcerers are a plague of the worst kind.
If not for that damned Yorvith, the serfs would probably be hanging the prince by now.
He cannot be trusted. If he found proof of Stennis's guilt, he'd point his bow the other way.
But if it wasn't for him, we could not defend the prince.
It's good to see someone's taking care of it.
The commoners claim it's our prince's doing.
Such judgment is above their station.
I believe it's Henselt's provocation. He wants to drive a wedge.
The prince has it coming, methinks.
Why can't I ask
Bloody
Irvet
bastard
about it?
poisoned the Virgin.
No, this is this place. Okay, so this seems to be triggered by the
Who will the Witcher
discussions I do.
he's on very good terms with that damned elf.
Don't try anything.
Is this the place?
Oh, how nice. It's a waste of words.
Well, this can't be the place. Locked away safe. Talking to those gathered in the square, and also went inside to speak with the prince. There is no... The man accused by the nobility was not guilty. Charismatic priest. Yes, indeed, and the priest didn't like Saskia. I remember that in the very beginning of chapter 2. Only to realize that none of the homespun judges had even tried talking to the accused. Our hero decided to be the first to do so. Yes, indeed, but where the hell is he? Jesus. Here?
What should I do?
Is it you? It is you! Why didn't you tell me? There was the normal folk here in this square before.
Anyway.
Das Gwynblade, Sparley fort.
I've been looking for you.
I don't know you.
You caused quite a commotion. Afraid of something?
No, nothing.
You're lying.
I didn't do nothing. Didn't say nothing, don't know nothing, and didn't see nothing.
You aren't helping me.
Tell me everything you know about the attempt on Saskia's life.
I heard the priest talking with the prince. This goody-goody said the Virgin is really a beast under her fair skin.
What priest?
Ulcan, the one killed.
So there's no way I can check if you're lying.
I swear on my mother's grave I speak the truth.
What else did you hear? Tell me.
I was put in Saskia's room in order when the priest came to the prince's chamber next door. They wasn't speaking loud, but I heard the priest say, "Just clear the servants from the kitchen." Nothing more. Reverend Ulcan, only he could tell you how it was, beginning to end.
The dead aren't very talkative.
What about what they leave behind? There may be clues or some such.
Maybe.
What should I do?
Find the priest's house. Well, of course I will. Okay, so right there, Geralt was able to use an axis sign on interrogation. Why Geralt wasn't able to use that on Elias? Just like I wanted. So I could have known the real truth about the Succubus case. The Witcher, you are illogical. You are illogical here. Don't do that. I'm leaning towards the priest being the guilty one. The peasant was telling the truth. That's how I need to take it. Geralt used an axis sign. The peasant can't lie after that. And I already knew beforehand that the priest didn't like Saskia and indeed considered her to be... Oh, it's night time. Everyone is sleeping. I need to drag Cecil out of bed and ask where the priest was living.
They lie in wait for their lord and prince. Humans are an odd lot. I certainly hope Scanlan can clean up this mess. What can I do for you, Witcher?
Yeah, more important matters now.
I need to know where Reverend Ulcan used to live.
Simple. Let me show you on the map. It's about right here.
Okay, I will talk about the battle later.
See you, Governor.
Ha! Did you just call me Governor? That's so great. Okay, where is it? It's there. That looks like Market Square. What? That's strange. CSI Bergen. Once more. Ah, this was just a waypoint. So it's right here. Human Enclave.
Strange aura. Nothing interesting.
Notes. These are supposed to tell me something. There's like a round room there with stairs. What's that about? It's supposed to tell me something? In Olgan's room, Geralt found a set of designs for a goblet identical to the one Saskia had used during the council. The designs clearly implicated Olgan as an accessory to Saskia's poisoning. Yet they did not solve the mystery as a whole. Geralt's investigation was still open, so he decided to continue his search for clues. He went to talk to Bergen's inhabitants. Vergen's inhabitants. You don't have much time. Yeah, I still don't know who did the poisoning. Thinking things will probably
They say
be
someone
in motion
cast a
here
spell,
now.
And the Virgin fell as if dead.
No, these are both ways into the castle, aren't they?
Sorcerers are a plague of the worst kind.
Who will the Witcher side with?
He's on very good terms with that damned elf.
I'm
Maybe
right
he
here.
has good intentions, after all.
It's good to see someone's taking care of it.
Enough of this charade!
Try to be reasonable, folks. Sit down and talk in peace.
We've talked enough! Come on, lads, let's drag the prince from his hovel!
Vergen's not a cesspit for anyone to shit in. There are laws to abide, and Scalenburden's job is to uphold them.
There's no law allowing a serf to threaten a king's scion. I, Silgrat, brother of Seltkirk, the greatest knight to walk Edirnian land, say so.
Does it matter who was born in a castle and who in a pigsty? Any fool can prejudge and condemn. It's easier to accuse than to prove guilt.
A peasant servant claims that Prince Stennis supposedly attempted to kill Saskia. Why would the prince do such a dastardly deed? Bear in mind how eminent is his lineage.
That's why! The mongrel covets the crown!
Do you even remember how valorous he was towards Saskia during the negotiations with Henselt?
Pretending to be with her he was, sly fox. Taking the simple peasants in. But us lads ain't so dumb as you lords think.
See for yourselves how the commoners hate the prince, spitting venom like adders. They hatched a plot to dispose of him.
Saskia's servant said that...
Where is this servant, might I ask? If he's got something to say, why does he hide like a thief? The answer is simple. He's a fraud.
He's hiding to save his skin from you, whoresons. Squirrels have to guard him.
One last question. How could the prince poison Saskia? It's a known fact that servants taste wine from the barrels before the Virgin sips it.
Oh, it's ironic that this fellow is here after I beat his ass. For a moment there, I kinda wanted to do that again, but that is a good question. Who actually did the poisoning? The priest obviously ordered it. But if I say this, does that mean that I side with the nobles? Because I don't want to do that. Well, let's go with the gut feeling.
A good point. We can't be sure if the prince poisoned the wine.
Stennis is blowing hot and cold. Everyone knows that.
You were supposed to prove his guilt, not insult him, yokel.
Tell us who else would do it. A peasant wanted to hurt the miss? Never. It's cause of her you noble dogs can't ignore us. A pig won't cut its own throat. A peasant's not foolish enough to raise his hand against his saviour.
Perhaps it is no peasant's deed. However, that doesn't mean the prince is guilty, fool.
Answer me this. Was not Stennis' room next to Saskia's? Do not the wines come from his own lice-ridden cellar? Can he not enter the Virgin's kitchen at will? Yes. His serene dumbhead the prince can, curses on his kin. Nobody in Bergen wants to kill Saskia. And even if they wanted, nobody but Stennis could do it.
You're wrong, Colton. Reverend Olkin wanted to get rid of Saskia. He thought she was a monster at heart.
Olkin was on Stennis' leash like a dog.
How dare you, lout! Do you imagine if someone sits next to a married lady, he's surely fucking her?
The priest tried to convince Prince Stennis to join the conspiracy.
Is Stennis some dimwit foundling that he dances to a lousy priest's tune? Olcan got what he deserved when Hensel cleaved his head. Now it's Stennis' time.
There is no proof the prince agreed.
The priest asked him for admittance to the kitchen.
So he didn't poison the Virgin himself, but allowed her to be poisoned.
That is guesswork, not evidence. I have no proof of Prince being in it, but the Prince knew about it. Because what the peasant said, the one guarded by Skojetal, that the priest told Stennis just clear the kitchen or something like that.
It appears Stennis would benefit the most from Saskia's death.
Your Highness, this is dangerous.
I am not afraid. Fear is a commoner's trait, unfit for one with royal blood running in his veins. What do you want, to judge me? Is a prince a common thief who steals a dozen eggs at the market? You stand before royal majesty, and you raise your hands against it. In this world there are crimes that can be forgiven, and crimes that, by any means, cannot. Just as a mother killing her own child, or a man slitting his own brother's throat cannot be forgiven. A crime against one anointed by the gods themselves also cannot be condoned. He who raises hand against divine right is not worthy to walk this world. And what about he who poisons the Virgin of Eden? Firstly, Saskia is alive, so no one can blame me for her death. Secondly, you have no proof that it was I who tried to murder her. And thirdly, I assure all gathered here, I won't rise above the law. However, only she, the Virgin of Eden, can judge me. Can it? And if Saskia won't get well, who's gonna judge you? I believe she can be cured. But if the gods decide otherwise, we'll summon a coven of the wise who can pass just sentence.
Those are words worthy of a true sovereign!
I am the one you should look to for guidance. Let my deeds be the flame that lights up your darkness.
So you've forgotten how you tried to bribe me when I was at your house?
How about that, snout face?
This is slander.
There are no witnesses, Witcher.
Yeah, I think lynching is a bad idea, whether or not Prince is guilty. I think Prince very much had something to do with it, or very much to do with it. The priest did the dirty work, but this kind of mob mentality, it's not the way to run this place.
The prince has a right to a fair trial, no matter if he's guilty or not. We can't deny him that. What will the peasants do if we hand them the prince? Will they hear him out? No. They'll hang him from the nearest tree or tear him limb from limb. What will happen if we allow a lynching? What if people see that might makes right? Who'll guarantee they won't desire to avenge their wrongs, real and imagined? Who'll protect people whose only fault is noble birth from the exasperated mob? And where will it lead?
The peasants are furious.
They didn't dare mount a frontal attack.
But they haven't forgotten about Stennis, and won't. It'll be that way until Saskia regains consciousness.
She won't keep order by strength alone.
Unless it's a great strength.
We need an authority figure. And royal blood.
5 courts go to waste in the Dwarven dungeon at the moment.
There's also Henselt.
Going into that haunted mist is madness. Stealing Stennis away would be easier.
No. Anything involving Stennis will cause a riot.
I've had enough of the peasants and nobles barking. Saskia's the best leader I know, but she can't hope to defeat Henselt's army with this rabble, which is why I'm going to get reinforcements.
Where?
4 Scoia'tael units await in hiding to the east. Time to summon them.
You'll make it in time?
I must.
Obtain some of Henselt's blood. Right on. Well, wow, did Geralt just back onto... Well, must have been a glitch. Well, that went as I wanted. That was a very interesting quest. I got a bit frustrated at the middle of it because I couldn't find the peasant in question, but there it was when I wish there could have been a quest pointer for that, because it's so... First I thought I can't leave the scene and so on. Okay, so I think we need to look at this royal blood here on this what happened. It's a shame Philippa didn't demand crocodile's tears and sorceress' smile as ingredients of the antidote for Saskia. I believe the Witcher would have had an easier time obtaining either of those. As it was, he had to acquire some royal blood, literally. There were only 2 potential donors in the area, Henselt and Stennis. The blood coursing through the veins of Stennis, son of Demavend, was royal without a doubt. When a messenger arrived bearing news of a riot in front of Prince's abode, Philippa dispatched Geralt there immediately. Peasants recruited into the army were accusing Stennis of poisoning Saskia and threatening to lynch him, so there was no time to lose. Luckily, Iorveth was faster than Geralt and managed to subdue the excited mob before any blood was shed. Yet the peasants were still furious. Left to their own devices, they would sooner or later force their way into Stennis' house. The Witcher decided to see if the accusation of poisoning were justified. He began talking to those gathered in the square and also went inside to speak with the prince. I obliged to remind everyone that the rebellion, or, as others would have it, Saskia's uprising, was first and foremost a peasant revolt. For the first time in history, the common folk had risen up and demanded a better lot in life with such force. The nobility scene needed Stennis' support. They believed only he could stop the peasant deluge from engulfing the entire world. Nobility had their opinion, the peasants theirs. The man accused by the nobility was not guilty. They blamed Stennis for poisoning Saskia, as the peasant movements initiated by the Dragon Slayer were not to his liking. Zoltan and I didn't have an opinion about Stennis. It appeared he was a foolish buffoon, but what nobleman, except me, isn't? Of course people around us gossiped, however the rumors contradicted each other. Only one fact was clear: a charismatic priest had a lot of influence over Stennis. The Witcher circulated among the common folk like some farmyard illness, only to realize that none of the homespun judges had even tried talking to the accused. Our hero decided to be the first to do so. I knew little about Saskia's poisoning, however, after hearing the rumors. I was certain of one thing. None of the common people of Vergen would benefit with her death, because everyone loved her dearly. Even if someone got money from Henselt, it would soon be obvious he grew rich. Every neighbor would know where his fortune came from, and his days would be numbered. Demavend's son refused to give his blood for the cure for Saskia. Accused of the poisoning, he neither confirmed nor denied the charges. The Witcher would have left empty-handed if not for the prince's proposition. In exchange for protection from the mob, Stennis offered the gratitude of a prince and future king. Lovely, was it not? Geralt found the allegedly bribed peasant and convinced him to talk. The serf had not only a loose tongue but also keen ears. He had heard Stennis talking to Olgan, the priest he favored. He even remembered one sentence: just call the servants out of the kitchen, nothing more. Geralt ruled that the Virgin of Aiden should decide Stennis's fate. Of course the peasants did not like it, but nobody was keen on angering a witcher, nor to question Saskia's right to pass judgment. Everyone thought the girl's verdict would be just, that is, condemning. Stennis was captured and led away under guard. Geralt had only one source of royal blood remaining, Henselt of Kaedwen. The walls have ears. You may remember that Geralt had been trying to ascertain who had poisoned Saskia the Dragonslayer. One trail led him to a serf who had easy access to Saskia's chambers and could have been bribed by the assassins. Well, the Skoyatal had been shadowing him closely. They were merely waiting for him to reveal his treachery. Yerveth was receiving reports of his every move. The servant from Saskia's quarters implicated the priest named Olgan as someone who could have been involved in Saskia's poisoning. Though the priest was already dead, having suffered a memorable accident on the cursed battlefield, his home could still be searched. Since the alderman Cecil Burden knew everyone in Bergen, the Witcher went to ask him where the divine servant had lived. Oh, what? Oh. Our detective with the wolf medallion around his neck finally learned where Reverend Olgan had lived, so he went to search the priest's room. In Olgan's room, Geralt found a set of designs for a goblet, identical to the one Saskia had used during the council. The designs clearly implicated Olgan as an accessory to Saskia's poisoning, yet they did not solve the mystery as a whole. Geralt's investigation was still open, so he decided to continue his search for clues. He went to talk to Bergen's inhabitants. And I didn't exactly do that, but I did solve the case for now. But now it means I need to go after Henselt, which means I need to relive the battle and go through the mist or lift the mist or something like that. With the death symbolized, and I need to talk to Cecil Burden about these, because he probably knows about the battle, and I need to find those death and hatred symbols from the battle 3 years ago.